Ladies and gentlemen, if you watched tonight's episode of One Piece, this was the best episode of One Piece of all time, as of right now. I know there's going to be more moments, and one of the most important moments in the series, I'm not going to spoil it for anime-only people. I read the manga. I know what it is. That's the only thing I can see topping this episode. This episode was pure perfection. When I tell you, this is something that will make longtime One Piece fans be brought to tears. I pretty much cried at the part when Luffy was talking to Kinemon. The animation was flames. I cannot believe what I witnessed, what I watched. This was the greatest One Piece episode of all time. Right now, standing right now, this was the best One Piece episode of all time. This episode did the justice of the chapter. I forgot what chapter this covered. But this episode did the justice of the chapter it adapted. This moment, this episode was insane. Just insanity. They went balls to the walls and they gave us a great episode. I know Toei isn't really liked. I know Toei is hated for various reasons. But these are one of these moments where you have to tip your cap to Toei and you have to say, job well fucking done. This is the shit I came for. The only thing that pisses me off about this episode is the fact that the next episode preview, we're getting pointless filler. I don't know why, but we're getting pointless filler narrated by Zoro or by Bartolomeo about what Sanji and Zoro did in the Wano arc. And I'm like, I was ready to see the next portion of this episode, of what the next episode could be. I guess they want to go on break because they blew their big budget money in this. But this episode was goated. I've already uploaded like 3 videos today, 3 or 4 videos up today. This video was definitely going up today, regardless how many videos. Let's start off with this episode. This is One Piece episode 1015, titled Straw Hat Luffy, the man who will become king of the pirates. So, we start the episode back in the past with the Yamato Ace flashback. Ace is knocked out because that was his whole trope of he just passes out. Yamato thought he died and everything, but no, he's still alive. Essentially, in this discussion, they continued the discussion about Luffy, and the discussion is about Luffy's goal, his dream. And he mentions Luffy's dream to Yamato, and he's like, hey, listen, don't laugh at it, don't worry about it. I know it sounded stupid at first, but please don't laugh at it, because he takes it serious and I take it serious because I believe in my brother. And Yamato just, after hearing what Ace said, she just recalls, and you get this visually amazing scene, one of the best animated scenes of One Piece, where it just changes and it's like Yamato is experiencing the past. She sees a young Ace, or she sees Sabo, a young Sabo, then sees a young Ace, right then and there expressing their dreams and stuff like that. And lo and behold, she hears Roger's voice. And you see Roger sitting there, and everything, talking about his dream that he told to Whitebeard and Odin from the flashback of what he hopes to accomplish. And in the meantime, you have Luffy walk straight near Roger sitting, and they both turn around and they both end up saying the same dream. And we cut back, and Yamato's like, that's what Roger said. What your brother said. What your brother's dream. It's what Roger's dream was as well. What he accomplished. And that was the whole thing. And Ace is like, really? Huh. That's a good man. There and everything. Now, Yamato didn't specify Roger. That was Roger's dream, the same exact dream like Luffy. And, she says, I got this from this book that Odin, wrote all his life journeys and everything. And then we even flash back to the present, where she's handing this to Momonosuke. She's like, she's essentially showing Momonosuke this is everything that Odin has wrote in his journal. And we've actually find out how Yamato came across it. She said she came across it because it was in the riverbed, in this little lake river, in the area near the burning tower that was on fire 20 years ago, and stuff like that. So hold on a quick second, guys. Okay, sorry for that quick interruption. But as I was saying, we flash back to the past. We flash back to the present. Frickin' Yamato is like, yes, your father wrote everything down. He mentioned all of this. But the one thing he did mention was very important. And he mentioned that if I fall, if I die, 20 years from now, there will be young, strong new pirates that will be the ones to defeat Kaido. And as, that, over the voice of Odin saying that, is saying it, you see all the supernova pirates end up getting to the top of Onigashima. You have Kid and Killer get there. And essentially Big Mom and Kaido, animation's just beautiful. They're both like, oh, Lin, look at these fools. They're playing pretend pirates. I could care less about these bums and stuff like that. And obviously Killer starts laughing, and Kid's like, yes, I know. Don't worry. We'll kick your asses, you damn emperors. Then all of a sudden they hear a scream. Zoro, who was tossed up by Marco, is there. Moment that happens, Law shows up. And then, they're all there. And obviously, Kaido's like, where's Mugiwara? Where's Straw Hat? And Straw Hat or Luffy ends up punching through, and he finally gets there. Now I want to do a quick thing. We get a very emotional scene with Yamato and Ace as she ends off, her backstory of explaining who Ace is and everything to her and how she accompanied Ace. Ace says good, before Ace, leaves, we find out how we find out how Ace had got his Beaver card way back when and gave it to Luffy and stuff like that. We found out that Yamato was the one that took a piece of Ace's hair that she asked for, created the Beaver card, told him about the Beaver card, said, hey, this is the Beaver card, this is based on you, if I rip a piece off, it will follow you wherever you go. So let's meet up again one day and go out to sea together. And he says goodbye. The scene was visually emotional because she, as he's speeding off in his boat, she's like, Ace, and she's saying goodbye and everything. And you get the time cut to when Ace died after Marineford. And you get her reaction to it, and she sees the Beaver card burning to ash and everything. And in the meantime, you have Kaido's like, she's making a whole mess of everything, and Kaido's like, I'm gonna have to put that damn son of mine to frickin' sleep, huh? I'm gonna have to beat some sense into him. Um, and it's very freaking emotional because she gets to the edge where she's saying, "You said you would come back. You said you promised you would come back." And everything. And you have the Odin journal drop down, and then that's when she freaking recalls what Ace told her about her brother. And then that's when she recalled what Odin said in the journal of how 20 years in the future, 20 years in 20 years there will be new upstart pirates that will come and be the ones to confront Kaido and be the ones to defeat him. And that's when she gets up and she realizes, and she's like, "Luffy," she's like, I will wait 20 years for you, Luffy, and I'll be here waiting for you to come back and defeat my father." And in the meantime, you have Kaido along with his men, and she stands before them, and Kaido's like, "You've made enough of your mess. Go home, because the one thing you'll know is you'll never be free. You think you're gonna be free, but you're not. You'll always be locked up. You'll always be held in captivity." But Yamato refuses that statement and says, "No, I'm not." She says, "I will be the one to take you down, and I'll continue to try to take you down. And there will be one person that will." And they clash and everything, and that's the whole thing there. That scene was very good and very emotional from Yamato. But we cut back to the top of Onigashima. Luffy punches through the door. He is right there, and he's with the other supernovas, Kid, Law, Killer, and Zoro, right then and there, preparing to confront Kaido and Big Mom. And they're like, and Kaido and Big Mom are like, "Oh, Straw Hat has finally arrived. It seems like we can finally get the show on the road." But Luffy sees something, and he walks over there. And when I tell you, this was one of the bossiest moves Luffy has ever done. Big Mom and Kaido think that, oh, he's gonna walk up to us and do something, and Kaido's like, Lin, did you hear this guy? You should have heard what this guy told me. I won't say it for you. I want you to hear what he says." And Big Mom's like, "Oh, he patronized you? He mocked you? Oh, it's okay. He did the same thing to me in Whole Cake Island, saying he was gonna kick my ass." Don't be. I mean, Kaido's just like, "Oh, Lin, whatever he told you, it's not as great. It's not as hilarious as what he said to me straight to my face. Just wait till you live." And this man Luffy literally walks, and Big Mom's like, "So, Straw Hat, you ruined my castle. Why don't you apologize?" Wait, what are you doing? I thought you wanted to fight. And Luffy literally walks right past both of them, and you can see the look in their eyes because the animation's so detailed. They are pissed. They're like, "This bastard just walked past us and didn't even acknowledge us." And he walks over to the bodies of where the scabbards are, but mostly he walks to where Kinemon is. Or you get this flashback to before the whole raid on Onigashima started, and I loved how they showed it out of his perspective. He looked up to Kinemon, and Kinemon was like, "We'll see you there, and I can't wait. Thank you for everything you've done." And you get this very emotional scene. This scene made me damn near cry, bro. And you have injured freaking Kinemon, and Luffy's going down. He's like, "Kinemon, I'm so sorry I didn't get here sooner." And Kinemon, he's trying to speak, but he's splitting out blood, and everything. Obviously they do cut over to Zoro, and he's very pissed off and everything about this whole thing. And eventually, after after Kinemon spit out some blood, he's like, "Luffy, I don't know if I can confront Odin in the afterlife after my defeat." And he grabs Luffy and he's like, "Can I trust you to take care of this problem, save Wano?" And Luffy goes on to say and reply to him and say, "Of course I will, because you're my friend. This country is my friend's country, and I'll do it." And in the meantime, freaking Kaido's walking literally behind him, and he's kind of like, "Hey, Straw Hat, don't ignore me." And he looks like he's about to hit him with his freaking club. And in the meantime, Luffy's like, "Law, transport the rest of the scabbards out of here." Law does that instantly the moment Luffy says that. Kaido slams down his club. Luffy dodges the attack. He jumps high up in the air. And this moment was also visually stunning, where Luffy, as he's remembering how Hio told him how to channel up Rio, and said, "What you call hockey, we call Rio here." And he's remembering, and he's flashing, and Luffy's flashing back to every moment that is built up to this exact moment, to where he can fight Kaido and do his job. You get it from the start of the perspective of when they were on Zou and they looked at the rope poneglyph, to the reactions of what the Minks did in protecting Riser's identity and everything. Them going to Whole Cake Island, Pedro's sacrifice. They showed that because they showed Carrot crying and the big explosion that happened and stuff like that. And everything that's happened up to this point, him witnessing everything in Wano. This was the point he was. And, when I read this in the manga, it was a great scene to read in the manga because he's recalling every past event that has led up to this moment, to get to this very exact moment. From the moment they went to Zou, their whole plan was to get to this exact moment to defeat Kaido. And I loved how they did it. They animated beautifully shot. Luffy inflates his arm and he's like, "Gumu Gumu no." And you have the freaking Rio just boom right around this gigantic fence, and you get one of the most epic moves One Piece has ever did, animated wise, and one of the biggest moments of the series. Gumu Gumu no. Not Reddo Hawk, Reddo Rock. And he freaking hits Kaido, slams him into the fucking rocks, into the ground. And everybody is freaking shocked. Freaking Law's Kid are shocked. Zoro's like, "That's my captain." Big Mom is like, "Ah!" Kaido's just utterly shocked because he got knocked down with ease like that. Big Mom's like, "Kaido, what did he do to you? What happened? What are you doing?" And Luffy lands. He puts his hat back on. And he's like, "I'm Monkey D. Luffy. I'm the man that will surpass you. And I will become King of the Pirates," as the episode ends. Oh my freaking goodness. And the way they had it when Luffy was walking up to them, badass. And the animation was dope. This was the greatest episode of the One Piece anime up to this point. And there's another big important moment that involves Luffy later on that it will probably definitely top it. And my goodness, this is the moment we've been waiting for. This is the moment we've been waiting for. We would have got this a lot sooner if not for that Toei hack. But it was all worth the damn wait. And this episode was amazing. From the visuals alone. Not only the Red Rock scene was my favorite animated scene, and then the end of the episode was my favorite animated scene. Probably my favorite animated episode moment of the scene was when they had frickin', Yamato just looking in this animation like style of looking at, from this crazy perspective of Kid, Sabo, Ace, and then seeing Roger just sit down and Luffy like right there, because Luffy dang near is, I want to say identical to Roger, but my goodness, he is like the embodiment of, the inspiration of what Roger stood for. And this was a great ass episode. I enjoyed this episode thoroughly, and I might have to watch this episode again because that's how good this episode was. This is how good this episode was. And tonight was the night for One Piece. That was a mic drop. But like I said, the only negative to this episode is we find out that You watch the next episode preview, we're getting a pointless filler episode, one of those Bartolomeo, centered episodes where he narrates what's going on in Wano, what happened with this, what the Straughts are doing, what Sanji and Zoro are doing. I don't know because it's Golden Week or something like that. That's the reason why. I think that's the reason why they did it, because that's when the mangas go on break too. But that really pissed me off because I'm like, really? We got a great moment and now you guys gonna give us filler? But whatever. I digress. This episode was worth at least a good chunk of 2 weeks. Every One Piece fan I know I'm seeing is talking about this, and this was a goated ass episode. Props to Toei. As much as we hate them all, props to them. They did their damn job here, and they put the best animators on here and gave us a moment that was epic of a great moment. I'm telling you, dudes. I'm telling you. I read the manga. For you anime only people, there are some great moments that are going to be coming forward, and they're going to be just as good animated going forward. I can only imagine the other great moments that we're going to see in this arc, and I hope they are done with justice. This is going to be great, and this was one of the best episodes, if not the best episode of One Piece in its history for the anime. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of One Piece, as well as hit the like button, and then hit the subscribe button if you want to get more One Piece content, or any other anime content I upload to the channel. And again, when you do hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell icon so you're up to date with whatever I upload to the channel and go straight to your inbox, and stuff like that. I will be reviewing the One Piece manga chapter tomorrow. That will be coming out, so look forward to that. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night watching this video. Until then, guys, catch you guys later. Peace.